Welcome to the 393 Legacy, a Gorilla podcast. We are back with another episode, little different flavor, and we're excited to have Miss Katy Vinson here. We're done with the seniors. We survived. We got them all across the stage successfully, and we are on to finishing up the final couple weeks of the school year. So we always do the sneak peek, and so there is a sneak peek into next week because there still is a next week for our pre-K through fourth grade. And so they will be here Monday and Tuesday of next week, and then Wednesday we will have our teacher luncheon and celebration end of year awards, and that'll be their final day on next Wednesday. Some people might be asking, well, why is the elementary coming back? Well, because of the new elementary school opening up, the brand new one this year, we had to delay the start, and so for them to meet the hours, we needed these 2 extra days, and so that'll be great. They're going to have some planning for the high school and junior high teachers, some planning for next year, get some things set in motion, so it won't be so crazy when they come back here in August, and then we'll celebrate next Wednesday with our teachers, and then it'll be summertime, but yet we're still going to come to you with the 393 Legacy. Miss Ryan Meyer and I sat down yesterday actually, right before we recorded this, and talked about the different people. So we're not going to give up on the summer. We're actually still going to come to you with different podcasts. You might see some different community members in front of the mic and in front of the camera. But that's for another day. I want to welcome to the mic and to the video Miss Katy Vinson. Welcome.
Thank you.
So it's with bittersweet that we're at the mic today, though, because that means that it's time to go on to the second adventure in our career, or third adventure, or whatever it is. Third adventure. And so Katy is going to retire. How many years in education? 25 years. And you might tell the listeners where those 25 years were at.
Well, I started out a semester of subbing, and then I moved to Fort Scott, Kansas, and taught middle school for 2 years. And then I moved to Salina, and I was at South High for 9 years, and then I was a curriculum tech with the Salina School District before I came here. You
notice how you only were in middle school one time. Yeah. We joke about that because if you're in education, it takes a special and different breed to be a middle school teacher for 25 years. But 25 years in the FACS department. And what's the future plans?
My future plan is to start a meal prep business where people can order in advance and have meals prepared that are just microwavable, gourmet type food.
Perfect. We'll get back to that too, because I want to come back to it. But one of the things that Miss Vinson has brought to our program is, the Gorilla Grub, which is a piggyback of what you just said. So the different things that you've brought to Solomon is, you look behind us, a couple things have changed in here. Number one, we had a flood.
Yes.
A couple times actually in this room. But one, because they came in from the outside, the water did one time, and then the second time because of the water tower and the big old flood there and Christmas Day. But you can see that everything's been redone. Katy's done an amazing job of upgrading all of our equipment and starting the Gorilla Grub. So talk about how Gorilla Grub and how that works here at Solomon.
With my Culinary 2 students, we study standardization of recipes and costing. And so to do that, we started out doing casseroles, and I thought, I don't know why we can't sell these things.
Yeah.
And so the kids have to find the recipes, they experiment with them, test them, and standardize the recipe. And then from there, they cost them, and then we put a price together, and then we work with the business classes to design a brochure.
Good.
That goes out to the community.
So that's one of our student-led businesses, one of 3 that we have, 4 actually here at school. And so you might also talk about what you do for our teachers, because our teachers always look forward to the special items that they get a chance to receive.
We do, my advanced culinary students plan and implement every couple of weeks a teacher lunch. And it's a more gourmet type meal, rather than cafeteria food. And they can order in advance and pick those up over the noon hour.
Awesome. So of all the classes that you've taught through the years, or even here at Solomon, is there a special class that I think I know the answer to this, but is there a special 1 or 2 classes that you enjoy teaching more than the others?
Well, of course, culinary is always my fave, just because I'm happiest in the kitchen. But the other one that I really, really love is my human growth and development class. The kids really get into it, and understanding how people evolve over time, through the age, through physical, emotional, social, intellectual development. They just really, I don't know, they grasp it and they really get into it. And so I've really enjoyed teaching that class.
The parents enjoy all but one weekend of that class. But no, it's good. It's good to see. It's good to see our kids struggle with that. I know my freshman Brecken, I know that it was cool to see him in a different way that weekend. He slept on the floor in a beanbag, actually, just in case, not on the bed, because he wanted to be close and see if it would help. It was just great. It was, we laughed so much, but that is a true, I can think back the first time that you're a mom and dad, those are the true fears and realization. It's like, okay, I got to be close to this kid. That way I can get to it right away. By the fourth child, then it's not that way.
Put him in the other room.
Yeah, put him in the other room. So through the years, you've probably had some principals, some colleagues who, and we tell this with the seniors all the time, special shout outs to people who've meant a lot, other colleagues from other schools who you've made a connection with. And in the education world, it's so small. The state is small. The network is large, as they say. Are there people that you want to give a shout out to who've helped you in the 25 years?
Who would be my key people? I would give a shout out to Myron Graper, who brought me into Salina. And I was not prepared. I actually applied for a job in middle school, and he brought me into the high school, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if I can do this. And that's when I got into the parenting and the human growth and development, the real people stuff that I really liked. I want to thank Nick for bringing me here, because this has been the highlight of my career, all honesty. Another teacher that impacted me early in life was Eleanor Haas from Abilene. And she was a huge impact on me, got me to love books and reading and literature and that kind of thing. So totally away from what I'm doing now, but a pleasure piece in my life. But
it was a teacher that had an impact on you, and you bring that up. I knew that. The listeners obviously didn't know that. You are a Dickinson County person, Abilene grad.
Yes.
You don't have to say the year. It's okay. Don't say the year.
I won't.
Okay. I do appreciate, because I know when we had the opening and Nick goes, I know someone and she'd be really good. Let me give her a call. So I'm glad that Mr. Owen reached out, and we're glad you were here. So how many years have you been here? You might tell the listeners.
I think I've been here 7.
Yep, 7 years.
Yeah.
Yep, 7 years here, and done an amazing job and taken our program to new heights. And in all sincerity, you have, for sure. This room has never looked better. I only laugh at that because if you've known for the 10 years that I've been here, I've seen it look a little bit different through the 10 years.
I've heard stories.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I say that. As you transition for 25 years, that's a long time, and that's something to be very proud of. Is there things that you look back on for our new teachers? Has things changed in 25 years, and what have maybe been those changes? And then what would you tell a new one coming in saying, hey, any words of advice for them?
I would say, there's been a lot of changes in education lately, and
you can be brutally honest, Katie.
Okay, I'll be brutally honest.
You can be brutally honest.
The dynamic, and Ryan and I were talking about this before you came in, about the instant gratification of society today, and how that has impacted so much, and this kind of aura of entitlement. And we grew up in a generation when we got in trouble at school, we got home, and we got in trouble at home.
It was even worse at home.
Yes,
it was even worse
it was.
Home. It was the fear of, when I get in, what it's going to be like.
Yeah, and it's not the same anymore.
And not in a bad way. I don't want that to seem like I didn't go home and I didn't get beat. But it was the flat disappointment. And, how long was I going to be not allowed to do anything ever?
Right.
So what was going to be taken away this time? So
yeah. No, and so from that perspective, as far as what I've learned is relationships are so important. I think if you'll remember back, I remember this from my interview, that's one of the pieces that I think I feel like I have.
Oh, no question.
That I develop good relationships with students and create a welcome environment in my classroom. And so my advice to my replacement is start out hard, be strict. And then ease up a little bit
Yeah.
and develop those relationships. But until you know them and trust them, you gotta kind of
You gotta hold the bar high.
Yeah.
You don't want to start the bar too low.
right.
There's no doubt
Because you'll
about it.
never get them back.
Nope, you'll
It's like
never get them back.
elementary kids, if you give them 5 seconds, you're lost. You're done for the day. You're never going to get them back.
Yeah, those are wise words, and I would agree and echo what you just said. As far as I don't know how we get back to the instant gratification. I think it's a social media presence. It's everywhere. I pick my phone up. I can see whatever I want to see, whatever pleases me,
Yep.
and I can ignore everything that I don't like or don't want to see.
Right.
And that's not the way education is. That's not how you grow. So I don't know how we get back to that. That's hopefully something we can attack sometime in the near future, I hope.
Well, I think we've made a good step in putting the cell phones back in the lockers and just let's stop. Just get them out of the
Yes.
classroom. It's made such a difference just in the way the kids interact with each other.
At lunch, I was since that's happened, I've gone to lunch just to listen. It's gotten louder, which is a good thing because they're having conversations. And early on, they didn't know what to do at all. I remember Mrs. Cross saying they just didn't know. They were like anxious. It was like an addiction, and it is an addiction at times. And so, yeah, I echo that. Though it's awesome. As you transition, and any favorite memories over the 25 years or special moments that have stood out to you?
There's been a lot.
Yeah.
There's been a lot. I think Gorilla Grub is one of them. I think the first
Should be.
dinner that we catered was a big
Yes.
deal.
Yes.
When we did the Christmas dinner, when we pulled off the teacher luncheon that one
Yeah.
year that none of my kids showed up to work. And we made it. I had 2 students that made it all happen. And then last year was a momentous year for me. I really connected with that senior class, and it was very hard for me to watch them walk out the door.
Yeah.
And I had 2 students that were my pride and joy, Macy and Emma, and they reminded me so much of myself when I
Right.
was young, and that passion, getting in the kitchen and creating and,
Sure.
and pleasing people and that type of thing. And so that was probably kind of my high point
Sure.
this last year.
All those things, and the listeners, what they may not know is that every Christmas we've tried to have a party, and it's been canceled for snow, it's been canceled for COVID, it's been canceled for everything. And so finally we just say we're going to do it at the end of the year, and that's all we're going to do. But this year we did do something different. So you brought up Gorilla Grub. So we did, in staff appreciation in the middle of winter, did purchase one of the casseroles for everybody. Just, hey, here's a night that you don't have to cook. You don't even have to come to the banquet, but here's the night you don't have to cook. So I can't say enough. I thank you for all your time. I wish it was another 7 years, but I understand you'll do amazing things in your new job, in your new creations, and it is a need. People are busy.
They're busy.
And I know
They don't wanna cook.
They don't want to cook, and so everybody results to not healthy eating. So make sure you hook everybody up here with contact stuff.
Will do. Will do.
As my parents age, I know that's one of the things that I know my father says is how do I go about this cooking thing, because he's doing a lot more of the cooking now with my mom and her health issues. So it is a need at all, whether it's a young family or whether it's an aging population. I know that it's just something that is you never thought 20 years ago. But I don't know why lives are so much crazier now than it was. So, but it seems like it is. You'll do amazing things in your next adventure, and you did amazing things here, and things you should be very proud of. I'm glad you highlighted those things, because those are the exact same things I would have highlighted. And I would also highlight the fact that just being a staff member and being a part of our staff and being a leader on our staff, those are things that don't go unnoticed either. So appreciate all your time. I'm so glad we got to come to the non-flooded, updated, new cabinets and everything. New cabinets that didn't come with some hardware, so we'll get that done this summer. It's amazing how quick everything needed to be thrown together before the start of school last year. So some of those things are still being put in place, but I'm glad everybody got the chance to check out the episode today and listen to Katy's adventure, and we wish her nothing but the best. Her next 25 years of venture capitalism, and you're going to create a franchise, maybe. You never know.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I don't know if I got that much in me.
There you go. Once again, we appreciate everybody coming out. Next week's the last week of school. We'll probably come to you with one more on a school-related one, and then we'll be off and bring some community members in and visit with our community leaders throughout the Solomon School community. And until then, have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week on the 393 Legacy.